I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I am getting all the devices working. Happy Tuesday evening. How's it going, guys? Let's make sure we're on here. Check, 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 check. Live streaming with my friends on the interwebs. Ooh. Want to make sure this is on Facebook. What's up, Instagram? How you guys doing? If you look closely, you'll notice something's a little bit different about the music studio. Hey, Cruelty on Instagram. Glad you're doing well. Where are you guys tuned in from? Hi, Gary on YouTube. Okay, we're on. We are on Facebook. Yay. So, as you guys can see, well, you can't see it on all the devices, but on YouTube and Facebook, you can see I have some friends in the corner on my sofa. This is Aurora and La Marita, my pink beauties. I felt like they needed to make an appearance tonight because sometimes it's weird to just like live stream and just hear my own voice in the room. So everybody, this is Aurora. She actually made her first appearance in Battle of the Saxes with me and Leo P. If you rewatch that video, you'll see her. This is La Marita. Hi, Mike. And she's rocking her flower necklaces. The Piatonic on YouTube. Hi. Where are you guys tuned in from? Oh my God. I literally just like, I might have to do the whole live stream like this. Am I the only one who has a fascination with like really furry stuffed animals? They have voices. They have voices. I'm not going to do them right now because I think you guys will think I'm crazy, but it's true. Maybe one day they'll come out. Hi, Diego. Okay. Somebody's tuning in from Peabody, Mass. Awesome. Well, my hometown where I grew up is Brookline, Mass. So Massachusetts is close to my heart. Here we go. Sunny Sundays. I got to change the words. Evening Tuesdays with Grace Kelly. Evening Tuesdays with Grace Kelly. Grab your tea. I have that too. Or if you prefer coffee, or maybe you guys want to grab some vino. Sunny Tuesdays, evening Tuesdays, evening Tuesdays with me and Aurora and La Marita. Okay, so they're going to just like sit on the desk for now. You guys will see them in the story. So anyways, I'm so happy to hang out with all of you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Like I was mentioning, I couldn't be here on Sunday. I was traveling back from Galveston, Texas. I played a really fun festival there, the Martini Blue Fest. Made a lot of new friends and fans in Galveston. Have you guys ever been there? It's really beautiful. It's right on the coast. So Galveston is right on the coast and just lovely resort and really cool people. There were mosquitoes that were hungry. Like these suckers were freaking huge. And the walk from the airport to the car, I think I got 10 bites and it was like, wow, it looked like they hadn't eaten in a long time. Anyways, FYI, you guys really don't need to know that. But the festival actually got moved inside into one of the convention centers because we had a lot of rain happening. And but the next day was quite beautiful. So I was traveling back on Sunday. Hi, Diego. Oh, I have done cruises too. Yes. It was really fun. Hi, Alan Fig. You were a student at the Miami Valley Jazz Camp. I really enjoyed the interview you gave. Oh, thank you so much. That was fun. Um, was that the Skype interview one? That was good times. I enjoyed talking to all of you. There was some really good questions in there. And like always, guys and gals, while we're live, please share this live stream with your friends. Invite them in. It's always way more fun to be here with you guys live. The Skype one, yeah. So if you have any song suggestions, let me know, and I will try to get to them. Hi, sis. Beautiful photos, by the way. So yeah, like I was saying, Galveston, Texas happened, and now I'm back home. I am headed to Pawtucket, Rhode Island this weekend. I am performing at the Above the Noise Foundation Recovery Festival, and these guys do such amazing work. They provide grassroots funding to U.S. cities battling the national addiction epidemic, and I'm really very honored and excited to be a part of that this weekend. Macklemore is headlining, which will be so cool. You guys remember that? The Thrift Shop Jam, and also Fits and the Tantrums are playing, and they're awesome. They're one of my favorite bands that I discovered years ago. So that'll be a really fun gig. I'm looking forward to that. And then my international travels start shortly after that. I'm getting ready for a trip to Seoul, Korea, where I'm doing a workshop and I'm performing at the Jadasum Jazz Fest. And I'm doing some stuff with some fashion designers. I'm going to do something with this really cool company where I'm going to wear some of their clothes, do a little pop-up, do a little runway thing with their models. Really excited about that. Hello from Italy. Wow, very cool. So I won't tell you the name yet, but it will be a surprise. Diego is requesting a little All the Things You Are. Yes, Jonathan. Hi, my friend. Good to hear from you. Are you in Queens right now? Hello, Michael Steinberg on Facebook. Ooh, sister. Sister is requesting a little Corcovado. Well, I did grow up with Astrid Gilberto and Joe Beam. Quiet nights and quiet stars, quiet chords from my guitar, floating in the silence that surrounds us. Hello from LIC. We're like neighbors right now. Quiet walks and quiet streams, quiet talks and quiet dreams, and a window that looks out to Corcovado. Oh, how lovely. I'm trying to see if she will stay on my shoulder. Lana Rita. So that I could have Aurora as well. I don't know if this is going to work. Yesterday, I had a really fun gig with a friend of mine who's a wonderful producer and DJ by the name of The Human Experience. We performed at the UN. It was a very cool conference happening about the space of blockchain and cryptocurrency, and a lot of inspiring people there. So we did a fun performance, went to a cool after party, met some really cool other artists who were performing. Marconi, today we have a Brazilian samba. Ooh, yes. Dream a little dream with me. So, do you guys have any questions? Thank you so much for tuning in. I, like always, wanted to kind of give you musicians. Do we have any musicians? Some hearts. I wanted to give you guys some musical tidbit thoughts that I'm working on and thinking about. In past live streams, we've talked about finding like great riffs, and we've talked about using space, and we've nerded out on equipment. I love Brazilian samba. Someone's asking me on Instagram. Yes. Love, love, love. That's actually my first That was my first influence into music and into jazz. Okay, we have a request coming in. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and he's always gone too long. Anytime he goes away, wonder this time where he's gone. Wonder if he's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and he's always gone too long. Anytime he goes away. How about a major ending? Ooh, that's a good question, Diego. Why am I not on Twitter/Periscope? So I'm actually using this app called Restream, and they only let me hook it up to Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. So I don't think, maybe you can help with that. Seems like you know a lot about Twitter, obviously. So that's the reason why. No discriminating against Periscope or Twitter. It just kind of taking it makes it, boom, it does that. Someone requests a little body and soul. I'm reading. Yeah, some nice song requests coming in. I love that one. My heart is sad and lonely, for you I sigh, for you, dear only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul. Wow, we have a friend tuned in on YouTube from Greece. That's so cool. I've never been to Greece. Hello, Nee. Thank you for tuning in. Best way to start your day. Oh, that makes me so happy. Ooh, this is a good song request. Wait, let me remember it. A little bit of Flintstones. Okay, I have a question for you guys. What chord changes are the Flintstones oh my god, let me try that again. What chord changes are the Flintstones song based upon? I'll give you a hint. It's standard chord changes. Oh, thank you. Someone saying you saw me in Seattle. Oh, that was so much fun. Anybody? Okay, I'll play the chord. Yes, Diego got it. Rhythm changes. So it's pretty hip. Like, okay, I'm going to nerd out for a second and give you guys I'm going to give you a little music lesson, and this will probably be potentially interesting to some of you who are not musicians. So next time you hear this song, you'll know. Can you guys hear that on Facebook and YouTube? By the way, Instagram, I say this every time, but I'm going to say it again. If you guys want to hear this live stream with tracks, and I'm playing keyboard right now to demonstrate, then you can head over to my YouTube or my Facebook or Twitch, and then you'll hear it there. But unfortunately, I can't tie it into my phone sound. That's the only way I can put Instagram on. So, okay, here we go. Oh, that's really muddy. I'm going to play the bass notes. So, Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, half the speed. Anyways, it works, and that's a really fun one to call a jam session because people will be like, "What? The Flintstones?" Be like, "Yeah, we can still play rhythm changes. Let's play the Flintstones." How about that? So, okay, there's a little mini music lesson for all of you. I just kind of lost my comments on, I think on Twitch and YouTube it is relaunching. Sorry guys, let's see if that works. Hi Jerry, thank you so much. I did get the message. That is so sweet. We'll send her another big hug from me. Okay, Twitch is back. Oh, Marconi is saying, and send a kiss to my daughter, Maria, who watches with me. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Oh my gosh. Okay, so YouTube is still relaunching. Hi, Patrick. Good evening. Hello, Michael from Atlanta. Wonderland. Ooh, that is a beautiful name that you have. So let's see. I'm actually going to try to... Hey, is anybody tuned in on YouTube right now? Can you guys see me? Okay. All right, the streams are good. Awesome. So, okay, I was going to get to my music nerd out moment since I've given you guys some homework in the past to think about. So I get this question a lot from, all instrumentalists, singers, musicians online about advice for beginner improvisers. And the exercise I'm about to give you, I think, is good for beginners, but I actually use it all the time when I learn a new song. So I think one of the greatest things you can be doing during your practice time is going over arpeggios. So if you don't know what arpeggios are, for any non-musicians out there, that's basically outlining a chord. So it's the chord tones, the root, the third, the fifth, and the seventh. Those are the most important chord tones in the scale. And basically, like, they're the building blocks to the, jazz and music language. So here we go. Somebody's asking that a C scale. Here's a C arpeggio. 1, 3, 5, major 7. And if you play it in all octaves. So what I like to do when I learn a new song is I literally put the metronome on like 75 really slow, and then I just play all the arpeggios to all of the chords. So obviously if you're playing a blues, the arpeggios are going to be kind of repetitive because you only have, 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord. But if you're playing a song like All the Things You Are, which I played earlier, then, and I was actually working on this with a student of mine, then the chords are going to be moving a lot faster, and there's a lot of different minor, major, dominant 7. So it's a really good mind buster. Is that a phrase, mind buster? So on All the Things You Are, and again, you do this with a metronome, be like. And on and on Okay, so you do that with a metronome, and honestly, like, if you're in beginning level, that in itself will probably take a while because you want to get it to the point where it's just like very fluid, right? You don't have to, you're not missing a beat, you're not forgetting what note to play. And then after that's easy, you want to turn the metronome up, so you get to like 100, and then you can mix up the order of your arpeggio. So maybe you go 3, 1, 5, 7. And then you can keep mixing them up so they're all in random order. Yeah, someone on Instagram is saying you could do flashcards with all the chords, major and minor. That's a great idea. So just like learning your multiplication, you can also test yourself on chord tone. Oh, by the way, Diego, Pasha just told me that we are now streaming on Periscope. Yay! Okay, he made that happen. I don't know how to do that. Oh, someone's tuned in on Periscope. Hot Boy 23. Doobie dot bop. Thanks for tuning in. You're our first friend from Periscope. So yeah, that is going back to what I was saying about how to practice it. And then you just start to solo within the arpeggios. Literally, I just played 4 bars of just 1, 3, 5, 7s mixed up. Obviously, you guys could like hear it better if. Here, let me give you a demonstration on. Do 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 3, 1, 7, 5, 1, 1, 3, 5. Anyways, that's like the slow version on playing keys. This is a really good exercise to actually sing as well. For any of you that play guitar or keys, I highly recommend literally going through and be like 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. That's gonna be really helpful for your ear training. So yeah, I'll do that example again of literally just playing with chord tones. I'll put on a little loop so that it's not as boring. We'll put on a disco beat. How about that? Again, it's just on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and Periscope. Okay. Oh, wait, that's a bass line. Uh-oh, the beat dropped, guys. Hold on. I'm working Logic as we do this. Okay, here we go. Oops, I messed up there. Okay, so that was like 98% all chord tones. There were a few moments that other stuff creeped in. But for my musicians friends, is that helpful? I saw some comments of people being like, I want to go practice this. which is awesome. I love reading that. This is something I called restrictive practicing, and I work on this with my Skype students. And if any of you are interested in going deeper into it, hit me up about Skype lessons. I love talking about improvisation, and these are like very foundational things to learn about. So in restrictive practicing, you basically just say, okay, I'm only going to use chord tones for the next 5 choruses and see how creative I can be within that. And then it becomes kind of a game of like using rhythm and trying to keep things fresh. And then after you do 5 choruses like that, and I highly recommend recording and listening back and then catching yourself. The song goes by so quickly, it's sometimes hard to know exactly what you played, but just try to keep really honest. And then at the end of the practice session, I always say, just forget about all that and improvise. And it's really cool because then like a whole door opens up for different musical ideas. Oh, great. I'm so happy to see that you guys are stoked about some new practice stuff, some new things to chomp on and think about. Okay, somebody is requesting a little party chant. Oh, that's awesome. That's one of my songs. That new title for Party Chant is You Be You. I love that. I had a whole fan contest of people sending in new titles for the song since I wasn't completely happy with Party Chant, and my friend David. I didn't pick it because he's my friend. It just so happened because it was all anonymous, the names. Anyways, I really loved that title, You Be You, and it turned out to be my friend David. Yeah, so that's some musical ideas for all of you. Diego, it's a nightmare to transcribe. Mike, do you ever see how many songs you can play with the same chords? Actually, yeah, it's a really fun thing to do. One thing I love to do is I put chords on repeat, and then I try to write my own melodies to it. It's how I've written some of my songs. So that's definitely another, there you go. There's another piece of advice for musicians out there and composers. It's also very easy to do. You can literally just pull up GarageBand and you can like put a few loops together and then just see what you can come up with on top of that. I had some great comments and questions come in through the week on my social media, so I wanted to kind of talk about some of them. One person asked me, how do you create your own style? It's a really good question. Style. Oh, before we get into that, somebody is asking online about communicating. So the best way to stay in touch with me is on social media, but also I'm launching a new VIP mailing list very soon. So if you go to my website, gracekellymusic.com, and you, boom, just put your email in, you'll get the first email soon, which will actually have saxophone tips on it and some really cool exclusive videos, and those will kind of just go out on that mailing list. So you can sign up on my website, gracekellymusic.com. And maybe a little bit later, I'll launch some type of sax webinar or music webinar with all of you, because I get a lot of your videos and DMs, and I love it. I love like hearing about your progress and DMing you guys back, and it like really warms my heart to know the things that I'm saying and the ideas that I'm kind of bringing up are ones that you're using, which is awesome. So yeah, what I was saying, how do you create your own style? That's what somebody was asking me. So I think the first thing that comes before creating one style is literally like imitating others. So just like we learn our language, before we can really come up with our own vocabulary, it's important to just transcribe other artists that you love. I spend a lot of time on the saxophone transcribing Cannonball Adderley and Johnny Hodges and Phil Woods, Lee Conant. That's just a few. Paul Desmond, just a few names. Actually, if you're a beginner saxophonist, starting with some Paul Desmond and Miles Davis solos will be a great one. They are amazing artists and exemplify that voice leading and using space, so it's not as overwhelming to transcribe certain solos of theirs. And if you want more info on that, on my Pledge Music page, I actually have an option where you can get a Grace Kelly practice tips PDF and video where I actually give some specific examples of songs that I love that I first used to jump into transcribing and stuff like that. So, transcribe, learn, and imitate all the other people that you love. And only then, and after you do all that, can you start to create your own style. Because if you don't know where to start, it's hard to find your own sound. And it's hard to, first you got to experiment and really learn. And it's going to be a pretty natural process for your own sound and improvisation to be born. Simply because I think what happens is, at least in my brain, after I was transcribing a lot of my favorite players, whenever I would solo, something would just naturally come out that was kind of part of their sound or their line, but then it was a hybrid of something of mine. And at that point, I wasn't even thinking about it. It just came out in a solo. And I think it's just because once it gets to that subconscious point in one's head, that's when your brain just stirs it all up, and then your own thing can come out. And that's also when you have enough technique and facility over your instrument or your voice to really have something to pull from. I tell a lot of my students that it's we're developing a toolbox, right? So whenever I'm playing or singing or improvising, in a spur of a moment, I'm able to kind of pull a different color out of my toolbox, or a vibrato, or a lick, or a line, and it all happens in a split second because I've been imitating many of my favorite artists for years and kind of cultivating a sound and a style simultaneously. Ooh, I got some questions coming in. What do you think of Hiromi? Hiromi is amazing. If you guys don't know her, you need to YouTube her. She is a dynamite pianist. Wow, she is so much. Her music is amazing. Her stage presence, her energy. I saw her live, and everybody in the room just stood up. It was pretty incredible. Yes, we got some other friends on Periscope. I am finally on it. Yay. Good. Let's see. How hard is it? Someone's asking, how hard is it to get a gig, especially when you first started playing in front of crowds? So in my musical journey, I was very lucky to grow up in Boston, where there's a big music community. There's Berklee College of Music, New England Conservatory. So before I started playing gigs, I was actually going to jam sessions, and my saxophone teacher would lead a lot of the jam sessions. And then he'd literally have me come up and he'd play with him and the guys. And then I had other musicians being so welcoming and supportive and saying hey, I'm playing next week. You should come sit in with me. And it wasn't until after a lot of that I literally had my first gig. And it wasn't until way after that somebody else asked me to play on their gig, professionally, paid me and wanted me to play the whole gig. Because for many years I was just sitting in with people and gaining the experience and the exposure and doing some of my own stuff. So it definitely takes time to work up to all of that, and be patient with it, because as long as you're out there meeting people and you're getting better at your craft and doing your thing, the opportunities are going to come, and the gigs are going to come. And if you want to be your own artist and really develop your own music and all that, then the good news is you can start right now, just writing your own music and doing your own thing and making your own gigs. Yeah, so that's a great question, though. It's one of those daunting things when you're kind of first starting, of how do I get out there? How do I get gigs? And in my life, a lot of it has been super organic. All right, friends, do you have any other song suggestions? Jojo Saxo, what is it like working with Leo? It's so much fun. He's an amazing guy. He's incredibly inspiring. He is one of the most talented saxophonists in keeping time and groove and rhythm. He can tongue faster than anyone I know, and he's just got this incredible percussive quality to his playing. So whenever we're together, I love nerding out with him. We were just together a week ago. I've been posting some pics on our Instagram. We did some fun pics with books. We're starting a book club. Ooh, this is a good song suggestion. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Some nice song suggestions coming in. Thank you guys. Unorthodox55 on Twitch. Do I practice all my transcriptions in all keys? What I actually like to do is I take just a snippet. So after I transcribe it, and I always like to transcribe it by ear first, then I take kind of my favorite moments of the solo, and I'll take like one bar and I'll transcribe it in all keys. And that's a great exercise. The more you can transcribe in all keys, the better. If one does a whole solo, that's fantastic. Little Donnelly. That's always a great one. Okay, so let's see. I put some other beats together. Let's do these. I thought we'd go a little country. Why not, right? Hey, down with some dobro. Hey, Glenn. Hi, Justice. Oh, it's so nice to see the Pledge Music family tuning in. Thank you, guys. Amanda, we're still on. Wait, do you have a rehearsal now, or you just finished it? Okay, so the other question I got this week that I wrote down because I thought it was great was, do I have any advice to upcoming musicians? Yes, I have advice. You gotta love it so much. I mean, the hustle is very real being out here being a musician, and there's no like one path of what you should do. It's certainly not like being a doctor. There's no, like I can't just drop a textbook in front of me and being like, boom, here's the music. Here's how you build your career. Definitely a lot of the music industry is built upon relationships and networking with other, well, I don't really like the word networking, but definitely like relationships with others. I think that word is a lot deeper, and doing something very unique with your craft. But I think before you even think about all of that stuff of, how do I get a gig, blah, 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 learning to be really great at your craft and like nerding out and just like closing all the doors and practicing and being in love with the process of discovering music and learning music is so important, because at the end of the day, then we do all the other stuff. We do the business stuff. We're like emailing people, and we travel and we do gigs, and there's some really glamorous stuff and there's some really non-glamorous stuff, and there's a lot of schlepping, and but before all of that stuff, the love for the music needs to be so strong that no matter what comes upon your path, you want to keep going, just because this thing of music fills you up with so much joy. And I can certainly say for me, that is like absolutely the fuel And that's the choo-choo train behind all of it. Even on the days that I feel like things aren't quite going the way that I wanted to go, or maybe, came upon like a tough obstacle, at the end of the day, like sitting down and making music and writing music just feels so good, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else. Actually, earlier today I was having a rehearsal with one of my bandmates, and he came here, and I was feeling kind of like, because I don't know, it was like rainy outside and very gray, and I was staring at the computer screen for a really, really long time, and we just started to play and make music, and I was singing and playing with him, and just like my spirit felt so much better. I can't quite explain it. I just immediately got more energy. I immediately felt happier. So for any of you too who are maybe not professional musicians but are play an instrument. I have a lot of people who tell me, like, I'm just getting back to this instrument or saxophone, or I want to get back. I hope you do, because it's a great gift to be able to just pick up an instrument and like feel the joy and write a song or sing a song with others or work on that one campfire song that you've been working on and want to get down so that you can play it on a trip with your friends. That's my advice for any aspiring musicians. You've got to love what you're doing. And that doesn't just go for musicians. It's just, I think, for any field, but certainly because I'm an artist, I can speak on that. And if you truly love what you do, and it's a pleasure and an honor and a beautiful feeling, then no matter what, even if you come across those bumpy roads, at the end of the day, like, why you're doing it. For me, that's like it's my soul food. I don't know what life would be like without music. It's just like my deep connection in life. It's how I guess music is, it's the thing that brings out emotions the most for me. Like if I'm having a bad day or if I feel crazy or whatever, if I go out and I see a show and that show just touches me or it like rocks my world, I get energy. I just like my mood changes immediately. And I know for all of us that could be different things. It's just been bred into my bones since I was young. So anyways, I hope that answers that question of advice for any aspiring musicians. It's certainly a good one. Yes, I know my friends online, Mech Falafel, said the same thing. Singing along to some of my songs has helped you through tough times. Oh my gosh. Well, that's the other part about it. That the fact that all of you are here and listening and so supportive is like more than I could ever dream of. I started music originally because it's something I love to do, and then to get your messages and to literally read a message like that sang some of my songs has helped you through some tough times is like, that's some serious spirit soul food. Thank you all so much. Yes, my friend on Instagram is saying music is like breathing air. It is for me too. Absolutely. I love having that conversation because, sometimes we forget. We get so wrapped up in whatever we're doing and lose sight of like the big picture. I certainly have done that myself. And then just the pure act of getting to sit down with someone and exchange musical ideas. And also there's not really another thing that I can think of off the top of my head. Maybe you guys have an idea where you could literally like just meet somebody and then you could play music and suddenly you just feel like best friends. If the music was like super connecting and happening. That's an amazing thing to me. It certainly doesn't really, there's some instant connections that I've felt with people, but for the most part, I don't get that same feeling when I have a conversation or when I'm at a party meeting someone. But like literally jamming with someone, I've had plenty of those moments of like electric sparks, and suddenly you're just so much closer as friends than if you were just having a conversation. Ooh, that's a great song suggestion from Tucker. Stormy weather. It seems really perfect for the weather that was outside today in New York. Don't know why there's no sun up in the sky. Stormy weather. Since my love and I ain't together. Seems rainy all the time. Great one. Oh, thank you, Diego. That's so touching. I'm so moved. Hi, John. Thanks for tuning in. Michael, my answer to that is I really enjoyed doing television work, and I would definitely welcome that in the future. TV work and traveling are very different things. I love the road a lot too. It's just like so wonderful to get to travel and experience different cultures. I'm doing a lot of international travel coming up. TV gigs are great because they're, I get to be at home more, and I get to kind of go deeper into the music. Usually the TV shows will run for a longer period of time, and they might be like an everyday thing. At least The Late Show was. And then like musically, a lot of things develop all the time. I don't have the luxury of rehearsing with my band every day. So when we're in a vigorous tour, it's great because we just watch the music expand, and it's fantastic. But that does happen in TV shows. It's like, in the case of one of the shows I played, it was like a condensed two months, but everyone just became family in the band, and that was for an NBC show I did, and like we're playing music all the time and hanging out. It's just awesome. Oh, if somebody is requesting, thank you on Twitch for that compliment. I think I got this shirt from, he's saying nice shirt. I think I got it from Forever 21. I don't know. Got it a while ago. One of those shirts that I didn't wear for a while and then felt like wearing. Okay, so a friend is requesting one of my songs. I'll sing a little bit of it. This is called Trying to Figure It Out, off a couple of my albums. One of them is called Trying to Figure It Out. I've met my heartache, drank the bottle dry, my tears of sadness, salt has stained my eyes. I've been let down some days, didn't want to try, but I stuck around. We're just talking about that. Lost to the dreamers, it's all I've known. The ups and downs on this bumpy road. I'm trying for something the light will bring me home. We're all trying to figure it out. Okay, I'll stop there. That song actually was written in like an hour, and it was after a very emotional conversation I had with my mom. And the interesting thing about when I go back to some of my songs, whether I'm performing it for you on live streams or while I'm touring it, I like mentally go back to that place of when I first wrote it. It's so wild. Like I have this song that I wrote when I was in 8th grade after my first boyfriend broke up with me over the phone, and I called it Tender Madness. And literally to this day, when I play that song, I'm like right back in that moment that happened. I remember like where I was in my bedroom. I was like sitting on the ground. I remember the emotions that came up, and I remember running to my saxophone, needing to get the song out. That's an incredible thing. Just like snapshot of a moment, clear as a whistle to me. So, wow, it's like so powerful about writing songs, and then to hear all of your stories about it. Okay, my friends, I am going to sign off for tonight. Sorry, I have to leave you. I'm so glad that you guys are all here. I think I can do it at the regular time next Sunday. I'll let you all know. As you know, I always I schedule this on YouTube and on Facebook. So for all my Instagram friends, if you subscribe to my YouTube, you'll find out exactly when the next live stream is, so you don't miss it. And yeah, share it with your friends so we keep the love going for all the live streams. I really thank you guys for taking the time to be here with me. And I'll catch you up on more then. I'll play you out with a little improv. How about that? A little improv. Somebody asked about practicing all the keys. All right, I think that was all the keys. Good night, my friends. Thank you so much for joining. See you guys on next Sunday. Have a beautiful week. Ciao. Ciao, Instagram.